Hey there, in today's video I'll show you how I built the base for my diorama, added graffiti and painted the figures I created in Blender. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm building a diorama for my Merkava Mk.III tank. You can check out the video about the tank in the pop-up link above. For the base, I'm once again using one of the best material for diorama building, XPS foam. This one is called Ultra-Therm XPS Top, and it's perfect for crafting a solid, lightweight foundation. This time I decided to try something different and 3D printed a custom frame. I wanted it to look a bit like concrete barrier, to match the modern setting of the scene. Since I don't have a proper hot wire cutter for foam, the frame also helped as a guide to shape the foam precisely. After cutting the shape with a hobby knife, I moved on to building up the thing. One of the key elements is a tall concrete wall, also 3D printed. You'll find the link to that model in the video description. Next I applied texture paste to the surface. I've been using this paste in most of my recent dioramas. It has a fine grit and works great for creating raw surfaces and asphalt. I used the DIY spatula to spread it evenly, adding some rough spots for extra details and smoothing out areas where the road will go. To bring even more texture to the ground, I scattered a few rocks of different sizes in certain areas. You'll notice the surface isn't flat, that's on purpose. Uneven terrain always make a diorama look more dynamic and interesting, and you know that. I didn't use an airbrush this time, and here is why. The texture paste already comes with black acrylic mixed in. It's a bit shiny, but you can fix it easily with brush. Plus the 3D printed parts I use have a nice matte surface, which means you can paint them with acrylic right away, no primer needed. For the main color I mixed Vallejo de Octane with some black paint from ACM to get a nice dark grey. To give the surface more character, I used the sponge technique, dabbing on lighter tones to create a worn, aged concrete look. There are actually a few different ways to give concrete more texture and variation. If you are interested, let me know in the comments, I can make a separate video about that. There aren't many techniques, but they are useful depending on what you need. Old cracked concrete slabs or newer ones weathered by time, like in my thing. Before adding more effect, I decided to paint some graffiti on the wall. I thought about it a long time, didn't want to include anything too controversial. People see things differently and I didn't want to offend anyone. So I kept it simple with neutral anti-war messages. One of the messages is about how life itself is a kind of resistance. We all face problems, push through hard times and keep moving toward our goals. That's the idea behind that text. A little metaphorical, but still real. Another message simply says freedom, one of the most peaceful and powerful words you can use. It speaks for itself. And yes, all of these writings are actually taken from real-life graffiti on the same wall I am recreating. Even the little Rick from Rick and Morty drawing. It was really there. I thought it was funny, so I added a small version of it just to lighten the mood a bit. And about the typo in one of the texts, yes, it's on purpose. It's an inside joke with a friend of mine and I wanted to save that memory here. A little personal touch. On the back side of the wall I added a couple more graffiti pieces. This one I think is pretty funny as someone who works in information technology. And of course there is another anti-war message, no war. Something that fits this diorama perfectly. I didn't want to overdo it with graffiti, just enough to tell the story. I'm still not an expert when it comes to painting graffiti, but I hope to improve with time. For now this is the result, and it's time to move forward and start adding some effects. I use the dry brush technique to bring out the road surface. After adding washes and other effects later, it will be clear where the asphalt ends and the soil begins. I also spent some time adding tiny cracks to the asphalt. They won't be very visible since the tank model will cover most of it, but I kept them just in case someone wants to look closely and enjoy the small details. Then I applied a one-day brown wash made from oil paints. It adds shadow, gives a theme some weathering and creates a nice dirty effect that adds realism. I used the same wash on the concrete wall. Then I added a few strokes of burnt umber and lightly brushed off the excess with a dry brush. This gives the wall a slightly rusty look and added more weathering. After that I started painting the ground. I mixed yellow and tan earth from ICM with a little dectan from Vallejo to get a warm, dusty soil color. To make the landscape more interesting I added wash. First a darker one, burnt umber, which works well without being too harsh. Then I used a lighter wash, it's light ochre mixed with burnt umber, and I used this wash over the same spots to give the surface a dusty feel. I applied that same lighter wash to the road, to create a subtle dusty layer, which I really liked. Once the wall was fully dry, I went back to it. It looked a bit too clean and out of place. I used a slightly darker wash on the panel joints to make the shadows deeper. For the second part of the wall I tried a different method. I covered the full surface with oil paint, then used a thinner to drag the paint downward. Some of it ran down, some stayed in place, creating an effect like rain had washed dirt down the wall. Once it dried, I moved on to other elements of the theme. I used a few different colors to paint the rocks on the soil part of this diorama, just to break up the monotony and make the area more dynamic. Then I worked on the concrete road blocks. There are my own dashing printed an FDM 3D printer at 1/72 scale. I'm honestly happy with the result. The layer lines are barely visible and the block fits the theme perfectly. And of course you can download this model if you follow me the link in the description. The base color for these concrete blocks was the same dark gray I used for the wall. Next I started adding red stripes. Initially I was going to go with the standard red and white barrier pattern, but I decided that the darker red, weathered on top, would look more interesting and unusual. For edging the blocks, I used the sponge technique again, applying lighter colors to simulate chipping and wear. Then I painted the transport handles in a rust color. Finally, it was time to work with washes. I began with a dark wash. Once I was satisfied with the result, I used burnt umber to create rusty streaks for added realism. That finished the concrete block, and I repeated the exact same process for the second one, but I won't show that part since the result is identical. The next object I worked on were large blue barrels. These are typically used for water storage, but in this diorama they serve as makeshift barriers. This detail was pretty straightforward. I used Vallejo ultramarine as the base color, because it creates a nice contrast and helps these small elements stand out on the scene. After applying the base color, I painted the leads black and moved on to detailing. Dry brushing for highlights and wear, plus a wash. I think these elements fit in perfectly. At this stage they blend nicely with the diorama's atmosphere, so I consider them done. On the screen now you can see an old tire used to hold up a road sign that indicates military zone. Nothing complicated about the sign. A piece of plastic, slightly bent the sign to simulate damage, and began painting. To add some color variety to the scene, I used German camo bright green from Vallejo as the base for the road sign. Then came the usual wear and rust effect done with the sponge technique again. In the background you can also see how I painted empty bottle containers and a few 5-liter water bottles. Small elements I'll also scatter across the diorama. Now it's time for the final phase. Vegetation. This time I didn't use a static grass applicator. I figured there wouldn't be much grass in such an arid environment, just small patches here and there. So I used my pre-made tufts again. A mix of bright green and brown grass. I think that works well for the setting. Brown grass always gives a dry desert feel, and the green adds a bit of variety and visual interest. On the far side of the wall I added an old rusty barrel and some more vegetation. And now it's time to work on the figure. On your screen you see the figure I created in Blender. Nothing too fancy, just an Israeli tank crewman standing with his hands in his pockets. I decided to go with a light uniform. Maybe the crew just arrived for a break, or there are other reasons why they're not in full gear. I'll leave that open, but from a technical standpoint the reason is simple. An FDM 3D printer can't handle very fine details at 1/72 scale. That means I had to simplify the sculpt as much as possible. Large shapes, smooth surface, to make it printable at all. Sure, the result isn't high quality, but for now it's enough. As for painting, I used the exact same method I demonstrated in one of my videos. I'll leave a link to the tutorial in the suggestion. And that's it, the work on this diorama is complete. All that's left is placing all the final elements and getting ready to show the full thing. Here is what it looks like. Personally, I think it came out really interesting and unique for my channel. I wanted to try something more modern and I think it worked. I am definitely happy with the result. What do you think? I would love to hear your feedback. As always, feel free to show your support, likes, dislikes, comments, anything goes. Even if it's an off-topic joke, let's laugh together. Of course, you can support me directly on Patreon, the links in the description. All the models you see here and in my other dioramas are available on my Noquality page. Some of them are even free. I try to upload one free model each month. To stay tuned, you might find exactly what you need. And if you want full access to all my models, you can subscribe on my Patreon page. I still uploading them little by little, but I aim to finish within the next 2 weeks. As always, this was Vlad from the Noquality Dioramas, thanks for watching and see you again. Pow pow pow!